We are back live on YouTube.
Great, thank you, Andrew. At this time, I would like to reconvene into open session, and the time is 5:03 p.m. I'd like to do a Pledge of Allegiance, so if everyone could stand, and I'd be happy to lead that, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. Oh gosh, I forgot the words. With liberty and justice for all. I'm sorry about that. Thank you. It's not something I do very often.
Excuse me, Pamela.
Yes.
It's Kim. You need to report action taken in closed session.
Thank you. I missed that. I would like to report that there was no action taken in closed session. Kim, are there any variances in the board agenda?
There are no variances.
Thank you. At this time, if any of our board members have a comment, I would extend an opportunity invitation for them to speak. I'm going to go on mute and I'll come back and forth with everyone. So if we'd like to start with Bill, please.
I have no comment.
Thank you. Mark?
Nothing for me. Stay safe, everybody.
Art?
I have nothing.
Sandra?
Nothing for me. Sorry about the disruption. Got some strange noises at my house.
Love that the puppy's attending. Dr. Holcomb?
Yes, I did want to address a couple issues with the board and with the public. And I'm sure our board president will announce this, but if you do have public comment, there will be an opportunity, and we will share that with you momentarily. But I wanted to share that given our current situation, we've had something unprecedented with COVID-19 and our distance learning. And I would like to take my hat off to both our classified and certificated staff with the great job that they're handling this. I'm getting very, very few negative comments. Overwhelmingly, it's been positive from families and parents. It's not an easy situation for anyone involved, but I know I like to give credit to our teachers and staff who are going above and beyond and doing a lot of great things. I just was, prior to coming to Oroville, I worked in 2 districts, and the first district I worked in, I noticed they posted something on their Facebook yesterday that they were passing out Chromebooks today. We passed out our Chromebooks over 2 weeks ago, and we have been doing a great job keeping ahead of the curve, and that goes to my staff too for doing a great job, our district office staff, and we can't say enough about our food service workers and our custodians that continue to clean up after people and making sure our kids are getting fed on a daily basis. So thank you for that. The other thing I wanted to share with not only the board, but also the public is that we've been talking about a bond issue coming up for this coming November, and things have changed. And so in the coming months, I will be inviting ISOM to come out and kind of share with us and the board their thoughts on the current situation that we have and whether or not it's prudent for us to move forward with that. And I just wanted to kind of put that out there because I want to have perfect transparency for our citizens and for our board. So I'll be putting that on future agenda. I don't know if it will be on May or June's, but we'll definitely be talking about that. And that's all the comments I have. Thank you, President.
Thank you. I have one comment. I've had the opportunity to speak with several teachers, and one of the things that I'm impressed with and very excited about is the rate at which teachers are learning and adjusting. So some of them started out with, doing certain things with distance learning, have pulled that back, have made changes. And so when I think about that, this is a great opportunity for our district and, frankly, across the United States to really learn how to do distance learning and what works and what doesn't. Anyway, like I said, I've had an opportunity to speak with several teachers who are making adjustments as they go along to make things better for our students. So I want to say, appreciate that. And I hope that gets out. At this point, I'd like to ask for comments and announcements by the administrative staff. John?
Good evening, everybody. I would like to reiterate what Dr. Holtham and Pamela were both saying about our staff. It really has been amazing to watch. I get a bazillion emails a day now that everybody is doing distance learning, and I see many, many examples of teachers collaborating together to try new things and then move to the left or the right if that new thing isn't working, and then trying to figure out technology together. It's just great to see everybody come together. Just a couple of things I'd like to point out. I've been getting a lot of questions about the LCAP and what's that going to look like. And the answer is we don't know yet. There obviously will be no further LCAP meetings this year because we're not going to get a bunch of people together. We're hearing rumors that quite possibly we're going to be told that we can just continue with this year's LCAP next year and we'll start the new 3-year LCAP process next year. But we have not received anything officially from the state yet. We've been hearing rumors of maybe we'll get some direction today or tomorrow. It didn't come today. So we're hoping tomorrow so we can clear that up. But it may be that we hold on and just follow through with what we've already been doing this year and continue next year, which really works for us because we're looking pretty closely with that with our LCAP for next year anyway, because a lot of the things that we were trying were new this year and we don't have a lot of data with which to make changes on at this point. So I'll keep everybody updated on what I hear from the state as far as direction for the LCAP. The challenging part, of course, is the LCAP and the budget process are aligned very closely. So if the LCAP stays the same, there's obviously going to have to be some adjustments made within how we do that for the budgeting purposes too. So we're waiting for the state to give us more direction. Also, the Butte County Office of Education has been providing lots of virtual trainings for our teachers. I've been sharing those as soon as I get them. They're going to continue to do that throughout this process. I'm kind of hoping that this virtual training idea will catch on and maybe we can keep pushing that out more so people can watch and view the trainings at a time that's convenient for them. They're also, I talked to Jeanette Spencer from the Butte County Office of Education today, and they're paying for a program called Kelvin for all districts in Butte County for the remainder of the school year, which is essentially a tool where teachers or administrators or district level folks can do simple pop-up surveys of parents, staff, and students to find out how they're doing and what their needs are in this situation, well, any situation, but really in this situation. It's typically a product that costs you $3 a student. As a district, you want to buy it, so we're going to get it free the rest of the year. I'll be joining a conference call with some folks from other districts and the county office and the people from Kelvin to find out what this might look like and how we can do it. I've been told that, for example, if we send a survey out to students, if they're logged on or the next time they log on to their Google account, it'll just pop up the little survey. They just answer 3 questions and it goes away. It's supposed to be real simple. Can also be sent out to staff and parents via text message. So hopefully this will be a way that we can do some temperature checks on everybody out there and see how they're doing in this environment in ways we might be able to do things better. The last thing I want to say is I haven't been able to talk to many of you personally yet because of the situation, but You've all heard, of course, that I've been approved to be the next superintendent in Durham, which will start July 1st. I appreciate my time that I've been able to have in Oroville. It's a great place to be. This was just an opportunity I couldn't pass up, going back to my hometown to be a superintendent. But I am working hard until July 1st to do everything I can to make sure Oroville's in good shape before I take that next step. But I wanted to thank everybody for their support through this for my time in Oroville.
Thank you, John. And I know if you haven't had a chance to speak with everyone, on behalf of the board, congratulations and brilliant job here. And we wish you the best at Durham as well. Kimberly Tyler, do you have comments or announcements that you'd like to make?
Thank you. We are working very hard in the special ed department to make sure that we can keep our compliance timelines as much as possible. I really want to commend all of our staff and the entire district staff. I have never seen this level of collaboration, and it is commendable, like everyone else said. Our speech and language folks are working very hard to provide supportive services. Our psychologists are helping with a new program that the county has also paid for called Care Solace, which is going to be able to help our neediest families and students connect with some social, emotional, mental health support. So that's a new program we're rolling out. Our monitoring activities have been pushed back to November and December, but we'll continue working on those as soon as we resume. I just want to thank the entire district and everyone for the great job that they're doing and their flexibility.
Thank you, Kimberly. And Andrew?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our first ever online board meeting. I'm hopeful that in future board meetings, we'll have additional features to maybe make the interaction process a little bit easier than just emailing the backpack at OCESD.net email account. We're still trying to roll out the features and also trying to keep our board meeting protected from any kind of Zoom bombing or any other kind of nonsense that's been going on. I had two things I wanted to share. Obviously, the first thing going on with the closure due to the coronavirus, we're going to be facing some very difficult economic times in the next 3, 6, 12 months. Nobody really knows how long. The governor's May revised budget is coming up in mid-May, which should start to have some markings of what to expect. But as of right now, we have no idea what to expect. We have no idea how long it's going to take the economy to rebound, and if it rebounds, at what level. I know that with the Great Recession that we had in 6, 7, 7, 8, our district took a 20% cut across the board, and it took years to recover from that. So there's the specter of a very negative financial situation, and do know that administration, including principals, superintendent John, and everybody else involved, we're working on ways to mitigate any kind of coming cuts. Trying to be strategic and be level-headed about making good decisions and things that we trying to identify things that we can stop doing to try to ease the blow as we know it's coming. The second thing I wanted to say is more upbeat. Our cafeteria staff are serving 300 to 400 meals per day at the Bird Street and Central Middle School site. They had the option of going to a multi-day meal program where they would give a kid a box with 4 or 5 days worth of meals in it. And they felt that they really couldn't keep a decent quality of meal for students by doing that. Other districts have done that. They said, no, we want to make sure that every day we're doing the right thing with kids. They're going to be working all next week. They'll be working the holiday. They'll be working next week's their spring break. They'll be working the spring break. But they're working 5 days a week to make sure that the kids in our community have access to a better quality breakfast and lunch. So when the kids come in, they get both a lunch and a breakfast for the next day. And you should be very proud of your cafeteria staff.
Thank you, Andrew. That's really impressive. I wasn't fully aware of what they were doing. I appreciate that. Thank you. At this time, the board would like to extend an invitation to interested parties who wish to speak on matters which are school related. You may email your comments or questions to backpack@ocesd.net. And that's backpack, BACKPACK @ocesd.net. Please include your first and last name in your email. Comments and questions will be read into the record and addressed during the meeting. However, emails received without a sender's name will not be shared during the meeting. The Brown Act does not allow the governing board to discuss or take action on any item that is not on the posted agenda. Persons may comment on specific action items which are on the agenda at the time the board considers the action. And at this time, I think, Spencer, you sort of have control of the backpack at OCESD.net. So I'm going to go on mute. And if you can just let us know if we receive any comments.
I've only received one additional comment, and it was in response to Beth Parmentier, who we responded to her earlier question about if board members were receiving their emails from OETA, and I shared with her that 3 of the 5 were receiving those emails, and then her response was, "Thank you. It should go to all members, same as other teacher emails sent to board. Are they not getting them?" And so I will work with Beth, and that was just a comment. We don't typically comment on that, but I will work with her to ensure that they have the right emails.
Can I interject for 1 sec on this?
Sure.
If people want to contact the board, they can simply email board, BOARD @OCESD.net, and it goes to all of their emails that they have on file with us.
Thank you, Andrew.
And again, Spencer and Andrew, I think perhaps we should wait a minute or two to see if further comments come in.
I think that is appropriate. The other option we have, Board President Pamela, is I don't see any action on here, but if we do, I know there may be a little bit of a lag time, and if a community comment does come in kind of after the fact, I think it's probably permissible to allow that. So I think we should probably continue forward, and if we get one that's that's a little slow, maybe we can backtrack a little bit with your permission.
I approve that. I think that's a great way to continue to move forward. We will come back and reopen comments by the public if we need to. Dr. Holcomb is going to monitor the backpack@ocds.net email. So at this point, I'm going to close it, but again, we will come back if we need to. If there are no further comments at this time, the board will consider the action section. And again, any member of the public wishing to address the item listed on the agenda may do so. You can email your comments or questions to backpack@ocesd.net. Please include your first and last name in your email. Comments and questions will be read into the record and or addressed during the meeting. However, emails received without the sender's name will not be shared during the meeting. Any further comments, Spencer, at this time?
No, I don't have any further comments. And when we get to the consent agenda, I will share some comments.
Great. So again, because of the lag and our, our new at using Zoom and whatnot, we are going to close out the comment section here for the action session. If something does come in, given the nature and newness of this, we will go back and reopen that portion of the agenda. We're going to move on to number 7, the consent agenda. The first item to be reviewed are the minutes of the March 4th, 2020 regular meeting of the Board of Trustees. I'll open it now to the board if there are any comments from the board on this item. And I don't see any raised hands. All right, we'll move. Did you want to comment on that, Spencer?
Well, I just wanted to say, I do want to keep the meeting moving, but I do want to say in our personnel recommendations, we did have 3 CSEA members who took advantage of the early tell incentive, and we'd like to congratulate them on their pending retirement. They're all 3 of them are longtime employees of the district and have done a great job. And we will recognize them at a future board date, but I did want to let the board know about that. Also wanted to let the board know that most of the consent agenda are normal things. We do have the first reading of 4 board policies, but those 4 board policies were updated based on recommendation from CSBA. And most of them are just changes in the law. The law changed. And so we had to conform and make board policy up to date with the law. And so those changes mainly reflect the changes in the law. And then we have 2 consultant agreements for art instruction at Stanford. We're going to go ahead and recommend that we approve those. Most likely, those will not be completed this year, but in case we get creative, we want to keep them on there just in case. They're very small, but we still want to keep those on there as a possibility. That's all I have.
Thank you. I guess it's probably best if I just quickly go through each board member to see if you have anything that you would like to comment on the consent agenda. So we will start with Art.
No, I do not.
Thank you. Mark?
No, I'm fine with the way it's presented.
Thank you. Sandra?
I'm fine with the consent agenda as it stands.
Thank you. Bill?
I have no comment, and I'll make the motion that we approve the consent agenda as agendized.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. And if we could, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Abstained? Thank you. The ayes have it. At this time, we're going to move on to section 8 of our agenda, new business. The first item A is review of the quarterly report of the district compliance with Education Code section 35186. And Dr. Holtzman, I'm not sure if you wanted to speak to this or if you wanted someone else to speak with it to this.
So this is our regularly quarterly report. We see this about every other month, and this is our district compliance. And again, we are in good shape regarding the Williams Act.
Thank you. Moving on to number B, letter B, approve the memorandum of understanding with the Orville Elementary Teachers Association, school closure COVID-19. Dr. Holtum, anything that you wanted to add to that?
B is a memorandum of understanding with our Teachers Association. This specifically is in regarding to our new distance learning and online learning that we are doing with our students, and just making sure that we're working with our associations to ensure that we have quality education and parameters.
I'll open it up just for a moment if any board member would like to speak to this with questions or concerns. Okay, what I'd like to do is if I can get a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Orville Elementary School Teachers Association with respect to school closure and COVID-19.
Motion approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those against? The motion carries. Item C, the approval of the memorandum of understanding with the California School Employees Association regarding school closure, COVID-19. Dr. Holden, anything that you'd like to comment on there?
No, yes, very quickly, this is our agreement with CSEA, which is our classified. And this is an agreement with them as we work through COVID-19 and a lot of the distance work that we're doing either remotely or within our school sites with new parameters. And it's really us working together with our associations to provide the best services we can given the circumstances.
Are there comments from the board? Or questions from the board? Dr. Holden, the only question I had was on paragraph 4. At the end, it says, the last sentence says, this paragraph will apply for the duration of the school closure. And then in the back, it says that this is will be expires on the 30th of June. So I'm assuming that the 30th of June overrides duration of school closure. I mean, on the horrible chance that we move into something farther than June.
Yes, if we go past June, we will go back and revisit this. At the time that this was signed and agreed to, it was just prior to when we made the decision to go through the rest of the school year. So it was made, and generally speaking, through school closure. And so that's the reason for the date. And if it goes past June 30th, then we will go back to the table. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with the California School Employees Association? It's the school closure / COVID-19 MOU.
Motion to approve.
May I get a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those against? Anyone abstain?
I wish to abstain.
Thank you, and the motion carries. We're moving on to section 9 of the agenda, which is business and finance.
Madam President,
Yes.
I just wanted to share that I did get a comment via backpack, and it was from Carla Held, our CSEA president, and she sent it right after Andrew talked about our food services, and her comment was, "Food services staff is awesome, just saying."
Thank you, Carla. We will move on to, I'm sorry, I've lost my place. Here we go. Business and finance. Item A, accept proposals for the fiscal auditing services. And Andrew, did you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I'll speak to that. Our auditor, Tittle and Company, we had termed out with them. We were only allowed to have the same auditing partner for 6 years, and Heidi Copen. We were at the end of 6 years with Tittle with her, and then they closed their school auditing services completely, as have a lot of other firms throughout the state. They feel that it's just too difficult to make money in this field. So I did a new request for proposal. I put out requests to about 20 different auditing firms in the state of California, many of whom have now stopped doing school audits. I received 4 good proposals back, and I'd like you to accept those proposals.
Thank you, Andrew. Are there questions from the board, or Dr. Holtzman, is there anything that you'd like to add? Great. At this time, can I get a motion to approve the recommendation for the proposals for the fiscal auditing services?
Move that we accept the proposals for auditing services as attached.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstained? The motion carries. The next item is award the contract for fiscal auditing services. I'm assuming, Andrew, this is the same contract we just looked at?
Yeah, so we had the 4 bids. I've had experience working with James Marta and Company, and I've also had some experience, limited experience, with Christie White and Associates, though the other entities do auditing in our area. The low bid was Chavan and Associates LLP, and with that low bid, I recommend we select Chavan and Associates LLP as our new auditing firm for the next 3 years.
Thank you for that. Any other comments from the board? If I could get a motion to approve the recommendation to award the fiscal contract as described by Andrew and attached.
I'll make a motion that we award the bid to Chaven and Associates.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Those in favor? Aye.
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 Those against? Those abstaining? The motion carries. We'll move on to section 10 of the agenda. Subject, the first item is item A, approve the unpaid leave of absence request. Dr. Holton, would you like to speak to that?
Yes, this is our band teacher, Mr. Wolcott, and he is just asked to continue his current agreement, which is working 1 less period a day.
Board, are there any questions or concerns or comments? At this time, can I get a motion to approve the unpaid leave of absence request for Ron Wolcott?
So moved.
May I get a second?
Second.
Those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those against? Those abstaining? The motion carries. Item B, approve unpaid child rearing leave of absence request. This is a request for Amali, is it Ulan? Effective May 6th through June 5th. Is there, Dr. Holdeman, is there anything you want to speak to on that?
She has just been out on maternity, and her maternity leave ends May 6th, and she would just like to go through June 5th, and we anticipate her coming back in August.
Does the board have any comments, questions, or concerns? At this time, can I get a motion to approve the unpaid child rearing leave of absence request?
So moved.
May I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Those
Aye.
Aye.
Pamela, who did the second? I couldn't hear.
Those against? Those abstaining? Okay, I'm going to go with the motion carries. Anybody, any issues there?
Pamela?
Yes.
It's Kim. Could you please tell me who did the second?
I believe I had Bill LaGrone was a second.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to, that finishes up our agenda. And at this time, I want to thank everyone for our first Zoom board meeting. And we will keep working on it and try to make things even better. Thank you all. And we will be adjourning the meeting at 5:41.
Pam, can we thank Andrew for putting all this together, please?
Pardon me?
Can you thank Andrew? Can we thank Andrew?
Yes.
For all?
Yes, thank you for reminding you. Yes, big thank you to Andrew for putting this all together and making everything work. All right, everyone, thank you, and we will see you soon. Everybody stay safe.
Oh, Pamela,
Oh, yes.
what time did Bill join the meeting?
Oh, I've got that written down. Bill joined the meeting at 4:35.
4:35. Great. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Here, everyone.
Thanks. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.